that it's enough, 'cause you sold your whole life. You sold your whole life. Count it up, count it up. I sure hope that it's enough, 'cause you sold your whole life. You sold your whole life. I hope it was worth it. Was it, friend? I hope it was worth it. Would you do it again? I hope it was worth it, 'cause now's the end. Count it up. Count it up. Count it up. I hope it was worth it. I hope you got it right, because you don't get a second try. I hope it was worth it. Hope you got it right, because you don't get a second try. You don't get a second try. Count it up. Count it up. I sure hope that it's enough. Count it up. Count it up. I sure hope that it's enough. I hope it's not quite time, 'cause it's not time that we are counting. I hope you got time. I hope you got time, but no, it runs out. So many of you guys know that I run a wood shop here. I love woodworking. I love tools. It's part of the reason why I love the trades, is because of the tools and the fact that you can build something with your own two hands, which is awesome. Creating something with your own two hands is actually in the Bible itself, working with your hands. It's incredibly rewarding, and I think if you can provide for your family by working with your hands and doing a trade, then that is an awesome thing to do. And I would definitely suggest that, and you save a lot of money on college. It's a good idea. So I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story here. Since I'm out here in the shop, you can see some of my stuff. I have a little vacuum line here. For those of you who might not be seeing this as a video, you might be listening as a podcast. Just imagine I'm standing in the middle of a large room surrounded by tools, and there's a large PVC pipe next to me, and that's a vacuum line that goes to both my table saw and to the miter box or miter saw behind me. Little valves to turn it off and on, whichever way you want the air to be drawn from. But I want to draw your attention to this particular item right here. So what I wanted in my shop was I wanted to be able to turn the vacuum on from over here. So I installed a switch that turns my vacuum on from the other side of the room. Now, my vacuum also has a dust collector with it, because if you ever cut a bunch of wood and you try to suck it up with the vacuum through the dust port on your tools, you know that it clogs up a vacuum really, really fast. So I have a dust separator that I made from a guy on YouTube. Again, working with your hands, it's a big advantage. You can also save a lot of money as a homeowner by working with your hands. But I needed that switch, so I ran some wiring over here, and I had some existing wire. I had an existing circuit, and I ran the wire over here, broke it through the switch, ran it back, and ran it to the vacuum cleaner, where I put a plug there where you can just plug the vacuum cleaner in. So the vacuum cleaner is actually set on, but it only comes on when I flip the switch. So instead of the switch on the vacuum cleaner, it uses a switch right here to turn it on and off. The day I did this, and like a lot of days here recently, I woke up extremely early in the morning, somewhere between 4:30 and 5:30. I take my daughter to an ROTC Raiders practice very early in the morning, then I come back here and I start working until it's time for the other kids to go to school. Basically, it's wake up at 5, take my daughter to ROTC by 6 o'clock, come back here, work in this very shop, either on Shop Talk stuff at the computer or on woodshop stuff. And I work here until 6:45, 7 o'clock, somewhere in there, where I go up and wake Jackson up and my other son Landon and one of my other sons Landon, and I take them to school and then come back here and start again. And then the cycle continues as I pick them up. So it's a long day of running back and forth and trying to work in any bits and pieces where I can. So I work in between all those things, and a lot of time that takes me into the evening because, like you guys, you got to get a full day's work in every day. And if it's broken apart, you're going to end up pushing that work day longer. So I was down here between 8 and 9 p.m. fixing up my switch here, making sure that my switch was wired properly because I had set a goal. I had a day full of losses, meaning I had just, things were going wrong, things weren't quite like I planned, and I just needed a win. So I wanted to finish up this switch so I would be able to come down here and use this new table saw, this battery-powered Ryobi table saw. That's right, it's a battery-powered saw. It's awesome. So I was really, really happy once I had finished this and was able to turn it on. But when I flipped the switch, nothing happened. And I started to think to myself, it had been a long day. It had been 12, 14 hours of working and running around. I realized that when I started work on this, I never shut the breaker off. So whenever I had cut and stripped the wire going into this switch, I had tripped it out. Lucky for me, because that could have saved my life from touching something that would have zapped me. Now, I've been zapped a few times like many of you have, and typically we can get zapped and you don't die. But that doesn't mean you can't die. 120 can definitely kill you. We get zapped by 120, 230, 460, 575. All those can kill you. And I say voltages, but you got amps too. Big, big mistake. A huge mistake. That's not just a small mistake. That's a huge error. And I went up to the house and I was like, Melissa, I definitely have to be more mindful whenever I get exhausted working. And I explained to her what happened. Of course, she was concerned. I said, I just have to keep it in my mind. Because, we can always say we're not going to work as much. We're going to stop earlier. But we don't do that. We keep working because we have responsibilities. A lot of us are fathers. As providers, you don't typically stop short of working all you can, even though we probably should stop a little shorter than we do. And I know that I'm going to be down here. It's 7:25, and I've been down here for about half an hour. So I started about 6:55. This is Saturday. I know I'm going to be down here off and on all day. We have to be mindful when we've reached our limits so that maybe we avoid certain activities or we finish up doing something a little bit less stressful. Let's keep that in mind, guys. Let's be safe out there and use this tale as a reminder that we need to come home every day.
This video is brought to you by Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket has just released a brand new YJack Mano dual port manometer wireless probe that goes with all of your other YJack probes. Find out more at yellowjacket.com. This video is brought to you by Navac, empowering you to work smarter with their new break-free power tube expander, the NTE 11L.
Well, this week on the show, I want to dive into a little bit more biblical knowledge that kind of sheds some light on some things that we can use in our regular life and our HVAC life and every life we have besides that, which I don't know how many of you guys have, but you can always use this knowledge in every single one of your life for every single one of your personalities. So let us take a look. This is Matthew 19, starting at verse 16, right here. It's called the rich young man. And behold, a man came up to him saying, Teacher, what good deed must I do to have eternal life? And he said to him, Why do you ask me about what is good? There is only one who is good. If you would enter life, keep the commandments. He said to him, Which ones? And Jesus said, You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. Honor your father and your mother, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. The young man said to him, All these I have kept. What do I still lack? Jesus said to him, If you would be perfect, go, sell what you possess and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven, and come follow me. When the young man heard this, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. And Jesus said to his disciples, "Truly I say to you, only with difficulty will a rich person enter the kingdom of heaven. Again, I tell you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of God." When the disciples heard this, they were greatly astonished, saying, "Who then can be saved?" But Jesus looked at them and said, "With man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." So what's the point of this? Why am I talking to you guys about this? I'm talking to you not because having riches is bad. I don't want you to take away that having riches is bad, but having connections to a world that is ungodly is bad. So treasuring your riches more than God, treasuring things that you have more than God is a bad thing. And if you guys and girls out there noticed, whenever you have strong attachments to material things, to hobbies, and other things like that, your family life will suffer, your religious life will suffer, and the more a hobby or a job consumes you, the less godly you are. The more you're focused on that thing, and it becomes a case of idolatry where you put something over God. Like, let's say I love tools, and I struggle with this. I want to do tool videos and have fun with tools all day long, every day. But I have to remember that I also have to give time to the Lord, praise the Lord for what he's given me, including the stuff behind me. And sometimes I start thinking, hey, this is all my doing. I built this. I need this. I need this. I need this. And we need to think a little bit less about ourselves and more about the Creator who gave us all of this stuff, and the Creator that gave his son's life so that we could enjoy this and have an eternal life with him. If we go back to the beginning of that Bible passage, it says, "And behold, a man came up to him saying, 'Teacher, what good deed must I do to have eternal life?'" Remember, we talked about this last time. It's not about deeds. It's about a commitment to belief that Jesus died on the cross for us and he arose 3 days later. Centers around Jesus' sacrifice, God's sacrifice of his own son for us, so that he could pay the price, and all that we have to do is say, yeah, I'm with this guy. I am going to praise this guy for what he's done. We have to adopt an attitude of servitude, which is a great lesson for anyone in HVAC. Because if you adopt that attitude of servitude, then you're going to be great for your customers, you're going to be great for your coworkers, and you're going to have way less conflict because, look, you're coming at it from a more humble standpoint. You're not the best. You're not what, quote unquote, super tech. So you're going to be in a much better spot than someone who holds himself in the highest regard. And that's sort of the lesson here. We have to learn about servitude. We have to keep our priorities straight. We do a good job, but not at the expense of our godliness, not at the expense of our families. Set your priorities straight. Think about it. Sit down. I need to do this just as much as any one of you, because I wake up first thing in the morning, I work all day, I work nonstop, and sometimes I don't take that break because I think that I have to make enough money to support this family, and if I stop, we won't make enough money, even though that my actions are inconsequential. As long as I'm doing right by God, he will see me through any situation. Doesn't mean I'm going to be rich, doesn't mean I'm not going to have bad things happen, just means that he guarantees he's with me when they do happen, which is a great thing and really a comfort in all of life that I hope each one of you can enjoy.
So what is Company Cam all about? It's about real-time job site updates, live feeds from the site. It's about communication between you and your team via the app. It's about knowing exactly what's going on, what's been done, and what hasn't been done. It's about liability protection, documentation, and communication. Find out more at companycam.com. EWC Controls makes forced air zoning products that you can trust. And on the screen right here is the model URD. This is the backbone here. This is your air control damper. The sizes range from 4-inch models all the way up to 20-inch models, and the CFM ranges from 40 CFM all the way up to 2,500 CFM. Find out more about URD dampers and everything else EWC Controls offers at their website, ewccontrols.com.
as you guys know, we partner up with TruTech Tools. Our discount code is Shop Talk. You can save 8% by using that discount code. But they also run promos all the time. So let's take a look and see what kind of promos they have going on. Let's see, we have the Blue Flame from AccuTools with a hard case. It says it's 30% off for $949. This is a combustion analyzer. And the Blue Flame Knox with hard case, $1299.95 is 42% off from $2,300. So there's a couple promos for combustion analyzers. There's another combustion analyzer promo from Testo. Purchase and complete redemption form to claim your free gift. And you can shop their promo items as free Testo manometer via mail-in rebate. Or let's see what kind of promo items they have. Looks like as far as promo, you see the Testo 310, which is a good one. It's a little bit more expensive than it was. Inflation, guys. It used to be $600 and some. Now it's $737. That's like a really good basic combustion analyzer. For the Testo 300, the next gen Testo 300, it says. And that's all I see on the page as far as promos. So you have those three. I've never heard of Citron, however it's pronounced, Seitron. Americas has a heating season promotion, free gift card with purchase of any Citron Novo combustion analyzer kit. Oh, all right, very nice. Amazon gift card requires mail-in redemption. All right, okay. And then another one from Sourman, our buddies over at Sourman. The 2022 combustion promo, buy an SI-CA030 or SI-CA130. Get free gifts with redemption. Free gifts. Looks like there is an infrared thermometer, a small flashlight. I also see a dual port manometer and a headlamp. Looks like. Very cool. Hillmore promos. There's a lot of promos going on. Free 8-ounce can of HVAC Pro Flush with Hillmore HLC007 line set cleaner. That is like the Pap Wapper. I think it's pronounced the Pap Wapper. It's very similar to that. It shoots that little pig down the line set to clean things out and have me afraid that it's going to get stuck somewhere. Another one, purchase and get a free Vessel Ball grip bit holder. So if you get one of their reversible chucks, looks like they have the 1/4 and 5/16 reversible chuck, you get a free Vessel Ball grip bit holder. Never heard of that. Looks pretty interesting right there. You can see it over here. So again, if you go to TruTech Tools, use the Shop Talk discount code, you save 8%. I'm not sure you can use it with every promotion, but when you're just buying stuff at TruTech Tools that says, "We love Zach," that tells TruTech Tools, and TruTech Tools says, "Okay, we're going to reward Zach more based on all of you saying that." And that's always a good thing because I got a whole bunch of children and I need some rewards. So in my previous video, I said we were going to do a giveaway based on the comments on that video, and I'm about to announce the winner of that comment contest. What they're going to win is one Shop Talk sticker and one Beckett polo shirt. So you see it's Nike. It's nice. It's nice stuff. I'm wearing one underneath this right now. Thank you, Beckett. Let's go ahead and get a winner for that contest. I have my YouTube link on the screen right here. Get YouTube comments. We have 22 comments right here. And our winner of the Beckett shirt and HVAC Shop Talk sticker is ZW Spiller. JB right now, but when she goes, I'm going with Field Piece. Cheers from the 910 as well, Zach. So someone local to me right here, looks like, or at least in the same area code. ZW Spiller, you will have a couple days to claim this prize. So by the end of the weekend, you should have claimed this prize. It's Sunday night, or really Monday morning at 12 a.m. You'll have until that point to claim your prize. If you don't claim your prize by 12 a.m. Monday morning, I will lump it on with the next person's prize. So make sure you guys comment on this video. In this time, comment on this video which digital gauges you like to use. If you don't use digital gauges, you can just put I use analog gauges and what analog gauges you use. But if you like smart probes or whatever, just put your opinion in the comments and make sure to like this video in order to get your chance to win next time.
We have a new sponsor at HVAC Shop Talk, Beckett. A lot of you guys know Beckett from their condensate pumps. They do make a mean condensate pump. We just did a video on those as well. There'll be more on that Going forward, we're going to test them a little bit, but Beckett makes more than just condensate pumps. Overflow safety switches, submersible parts washer pumps. I've never even heard of that. Condensate evaporator pans, but their condensate pumps have a wide range. They know what they're talking about. They make a quality pump. You can tell when you look at a condensate pump and you can see the features that are left off. You can see the build quality issues. You don't have that with Beckett. Learn more at beckettus.com/industrial.
Looks like the boys at Taco are going to do something called Taco After Dark. It's a reminder. Taco After Dark Fall Series 2022 online and on the road. Don't miss out on tonight's. And it says tonight's, although it has a couple more events coming up. It says don't miss out on tonight's Taco After Dark session from the NORA training facility in Plainview, New York. Join Taco Comfort Solutions as we discuss zone pumps, zone valves, and the great debate. Man, it says since the first amphibians crawled out of the slime, this debate has been raging. Which is better, zone valves or zone pumps? All right, guys, I didn't know that was a thing, but hey, there you go. It looks like there are some upcoming dates. They are in Milton, Ontario, location to be determined on November 9th and November 16th. In Mahwah, New Jersey, Lincoln Technical Institute, 70 McKee Drive, Mahwah, New Jersey, 07430. You contact Ted Kelsey for space and availability to attend, 201-335-9051. Look like our buddies at Field Piece have emailed me again saying they have your heating season must-have tools checklist. And it looks like all the tools on their checklist are Field Piece tools, which would make sense. It would be funny if there was a bunch of Testo tools on their list. I'm not saying that would ever occur, but let's see what Field Piece has put on their list. Let's see what the most important Field Piece tools are. Looks like it's going to be their brand new combustion analyzers, the CAT85 and CAT45. So you have brand new combustion analyzer. I don't know of anyone who have used one of these yet, but if you've used one, let me know. Let me know how you like it. I'm kind of curious about it. Like I said, I had their original one, which really wasn't useful. I call it the Sucks 3 because it doesn't do CO, and CO is like one of the most important numbers. I think we could all agree with that, but this one definitely does that. It has an interface. It looks a lot more like a Testo product. Has that screen. I don't know if it's touch screen or not, but you guys can kind of see it right there. The CAT85 and CAT45. We also have the carbon monoxide detector, the SCM4. Now, I don't know about this one. I think I would rather just have something you wear, like a little Sensit deal or a Testo 317, one that's on your clothing, than have one of their Field Piece big standalone type meters. You guys know what these are. Like they have their STA2 and all of their different products are little standalone accessories that are rather tall. I don't know that I'd have a separate carbon monoxide detector. I think I'd just keep on the closed one, and if I wanted to use something a little bit more substantial, I think the actual combustion analyzer will work for that. We also have clamp meters, the SE480 and the SC680. Those are the big dogs. You see the 680 right there next to the 480? For those of you listening on the podcast, the 680 is a good, it looks in this picture, and I'm just guessing, like it's a good 2 inches taller than the 480. Whenever I talked to the lady at Field Piece, she said that my old SC57, which I think is the greatest meter, Brent, don't forget that you need to mail that to me still. Brent still hasn't mailed it to me, guys. Brent from Tool Pros. So let him know if he does a live chat, says, you going to mail Zach that meter or what? SC57 is very similar to the SC480. That's what she told me. So I would probably go with the SC480 because it is much smaller. And you only need the 680, also known as the Field Piece Fish Bat, if you need a lot of those features. Like, I think it has phase rotation, a lot of stuff that, like Resi guys, they don't need that stuff. They don't need that stuff. The 480 would be good to go. We can dive into that a little bit deeper. If you guys want to see more details on which meters do what, we can definitely cover that. They have the SDMN6, which is a dual port manometer with pressure switch tester. It will actually, has a little pump inside that will actually test pressure switches. So that's pretty cool. So the SDMN6, that's a neat thing to have. You just don't have to go, on the pressure switch to check it. You can have a device that will check it at a certain pressure. So that's nice. A little bit more accurate than just blowing in it to see if you make it click or whatever. The final thing on their list is the JobLink System Flex Psychrometer Probe, the JL3RH. So that is just going to measure temperature. It says that their JL3RH psychrometer probes handle extreme duct temperature as high as 250 degrees, which I thought they were lower than that. I thought that was a problem. Maybe they changed them, or maybe I was just informed incorrectly, which is entirely possible. So this will just let you measure that temperature spread across the furnace. Now, do you need a bunch of wireless products to do all this stuff? Of course you do not. You can do this on a budget with a little bit simpler tool. You can get these tools. There's similar tools from a lot of different manufacturers, ranging from the combustion analyzer down to the temperature probes. As long as you have the tools to do the job and they're semi-reliable tools, I think you're good to go. But this was Field Pieces checklist, which is going to be helpful for just figuring out what you need this heating season. Last but not least, we have some power tools, because a lot of us use power tools in our everyday life. It is Black Friday month at Lowe's, and there are several yearly deals that seem to repeat themselves. So I'm going to show you one in particular that I think is pretty cool, and they'll have it for several different brands, both at Lowe's and at Home Depot, and I've noticed that it seems to be the same one every year. And we look right here, we have the XR 2-pack 5 amp hour lithium batteries with charger, and when you click on it, you get a free gift. So that's where you fill in the blank on what you need as far as power tools. So let's go ahead and click on the free gift, wherever it's at. So looking over here at the side of the screen, you can see the free gifts. You can get a 4.5-inch 20-volt trigger switch cordless angle grinder. A lot of us use angle grinders at work, especially install crews, especially commercial. We have the DeWalt 20-volt max 1/4-inch variable speed brushless cordless impact driver, which is going to be a nice impact driver. We have a jigsaw, which is a brushless saw, which we may not use quite as much, but I know I use those for install whenever I was cutting register holes. We have a sander, which I'm going to skip over, a DeWalt 12-volt or 20-volt max cordless job site Bluetooth speaker. A lot of guys use those too. We have a router. I'm going to skip that one too. And then we have the 4-piece brushless 20-volt max variable speed oscillating multi-tool. A lot of us use the multi-tool. I've always called them Fine Tools, because Fine was one of the companies that first started making those, if not the first. It might have been the first. But it's a multi-tool, one of those ones that you can use to sand or cut metal, PVC, cut nails, cut wood. It's really a nice tool to have, and installers especially. And even if you're doing change-outs, that can come in real handy for clipping some molding. Really, really handy. And all those tools you get free. You pick one of them when you get this battery set. So it's pretty cool, guys. I think that's something you should definitely consider. They will have these sort of deals for Makita at Home Depot. They'll have for Milwaukee. So you'll see more deals like this. I don't know if there's going to be more than that as far as get batteries. I know Cobalt does it, and Cobalt seems to be pretty decent tools too. And you can get 2 of their batteries for $149 and a free tool. So, but a lot of guys like DeWalt. A lot of guys like Milwaukee. So that's what I'm going to bring you. You can get yourself a nice deal and get yourself a product that maybe you don't have any DeWalt tools, and you can break in with 2 5 amp hour batteries and the power tool. So that'll be a really cool thing to have. And you know, I love tools, man, so it's always fun. I could use that brushless router, man. That'd be cool to have right here at the shop. I have a Chicago router from Harbor Freight. It does pretty good. It's corded. I needed a larger plunge router. Then I have the Ryobi Palm router, which is pretty good too. But I bet that brushless DeWalt one, I bet that one's powerful. I just want to try it so bad. So bad. Of course, Milwaukee's going to be doing the same thing with their brushless router too. Don't get wrapped up in that. I found it so easy to get wrapped up in that stuff. I'm going to get new tools that I don't need. Do you need them? Like, I want the Milwaukee Gen 4 hammer drill, brushless fuel. Do I need it? I do not. I do not. I have 17 drills that will do the job. The Bauer brushless drill will do all the jobs I have here. I was cutting 4-inch hole saw holes in pallet wood with the Bauer just fine. You really don't need all that power unless there's a task you know you need it for. If you're drilling a bunch of holes in masonry, just get one of them SDS drills done. They're better anyway. See? Nah, they cost more. They cost more probably. So, okay, guys. Well, there's some tool news, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Go get yourself a new tool if you need it. If you don't need it, do not get it.